As labor unions celebrate the 2024 May Day, they are unhappy about the rising trend of casualization of workers in the country. They also called for promotion of decent work for private security guards. Senior correspondent Sharon Ejaso reports.
The International Workers' Day celebration is promoted by the International Labour Movement. It's a day marked every 1st of May to celebrate the achievements of workers. May Day has its origin in the labour movement, which advocated 8 hours of work, 8 hours of recreation, and 8 hours of rest for workers. The movement became popular in the 19th century when workers in the industrialized countries fought for fair wages, better working conditions, and the right to form labor unions. By the 20th century, the International Workers' Day became a day to demand for better working conditions, higher wages, and more rights. As organized labor in Nigeria celebrates the 2024 May Day, workers are lamenting the growing trend of casualization and poor pay in the country. In this context, I met with some workers in the private security sector. They lament poor salary received by workers in the sector. Fola, a private security guard, tells me that he receives below the minimum wage of 30,000 naira as a monthly salary, with no access to health care.
It could have been a very good advice if a government could take charge of all this slavery work. Because most of them, they are just using the citizen as a slavery, and whereby they are making wealth from them. So someone will be working out, they're supposed to collect 70,000 naira, they'll be paying 17,000 or 20,000. So there's no way the person can survive it. Most of them, at the end of the day, they engage in stealing. They find it very difficult to cope. Even when they are working in that in any company, they will find it very difficult to discharge their duty as it's supposed to be because of the poor salary they are paying them. So if government can come to their aid in taking total charge of all this, so that the payment, they can be employ them direct, so that all this money being paid to a third party will be removed. That's my advice, so that they will be taken away from the slavery land, which they have been on a decade for many years.
You start from somewhere. You say where the necessity is not available, the availability becomes a necessity. So what you don't have, what I desire is not available. So the little one I see is what I'm doing at the moment. But the journey has been so tough. There are a lot of challenges yet untackled. The enumeration is too low, below expectation.
I met with Joseph Ologbonyo, the president of the National Union of Private Guards of Nigeria. He wants the federal government to register the union to ensure protection of rights of workers in the sector.
Our sector, nobody is helping our sector. If you look about the sector, they are just intimidate the citizen of the country. One where they will collect a contract, 60,000, they will pay a guard 15,000, and the government official, they are not ready to fight for the citizens of the country. There's no medical, no insurance, no leave, and they can just send you away at any time.
Some stakeholders spoke about their expectations from the International Workers' Day celebration.
We really want to commend the resilience of Nigerian workers. They've played their part in the context of national development. As employers, we continue to support Nigerian workers. We continue to take their welfare, as paramount within the context of our limitation. We will continue to promote decent work. We continue to promote occupational health and safety, and trusting that the workers from their side will also upscale productivity, because they have to meet the employers somewhere in the middle. For government, we want to urge the government to continue to do the needful. Even the conversation about the minimum wage, it is less of the figure. It's more of what the figure can buy. So government should also step up its reforms and ensure that those reforms start yielding the necessary fruits.
For workers like Fola Agwola and others across the world seeking living wage and decent work, they hope that the struggle of past labor leaders for better welfare will not be in vain. The International Workers' Day is celebrated in more than 80 countries across the world. As the growing demand for a better living wage is increasing across the globe, it's expected back home that the federal government and relevant authorities do the needful to ensure that the environment for the working class is improved upon. Sharon Ijason, TVC News.